Hi, welcome back to third video of 27th module on best practices of school counselor, being grounded, accessible and approachable. A school counselor is one who is knowledgeable about the school and about the students on a personal level, tactfully attend to a difficult situation and immediate link for the parents. Even while providing academic services or counseling session, school counselors are the personnel who are most available in times of need in a school. This is possible because school counselors have deeper understanding on human behavior and intricacy of a school system. At times of emotional crisis, a student will need a right person to talk to, and that person could be a counselor. Similarly, there might be other dire consequences which may warrant the immediate attention of a school counselor. Thus, a school counselor is the most needed personnel who can help the students, parents, staff, and then school administrator reach a desired outcome. A school counselor takes into consideration of all the stakeholders involved and often bring unique insight and is essential for the school to have connection with the family. In order to effectively execute such a role, it is essential that a school counselor to be accessible and approachable. In other words, school counselor must be the person one who wants to seek out when there is a need. For this, school counselor must be approachable, inviting, trustworthy, and at times friendly. So the learning objectives of this video are: grow cognition into the meaning and importance of being accessible and approachable, to have a better in-depth understanding of the methods to be followed to project accessibility and approachability. Most of the times, counseling is possible only when the initial ice is broken, which can happen when a student starts to trust, feel comfortable and accepted. The student should feel that they have a professional caregiver among the adults who will be there for them without bias. Students can sense if a counselor is warm and inviting and whether or not they can trust him or her with their problems. Such an accepting nature is very much interwoven into the reputation of a school counselor. So it is imperative that a school counselor possess such a trait or build it. This trait can be used as a singular skill around which the practice can be built and effectively deliver the work. How to be accessible and approachable then? First of all, it is important to understand what we mean by accessible and approachable. The terms accessible and approachable are synonyms. By being accessible or approachable, we mean that a school counselor is willing to see people and is friendly and easy to talk to. Following are some of the steps to practice or build this trait. First, body language. A school counselor needs to pay a great attention to his or her body language while trying to present oneself as approachable. Head should be held up, eye contact should be met and maintained, trunk angle towards the person who is talking. Avoid fidgeting, not during the conversation, and avoid paying attention to anything else other than the conversation with the concerned person. Verbal communication. A school counselor should respond positively and at the same time be assertive while giving a negative feedback when needed. Communication plays a major role in counseling. School counselor will have to communicate ideas, thoughts and feelings verbally or in written and guide the students to make crucial decisions. Simultaneously, reporting to the parents about their children is also necessary. So it is important how well a school counselor is able to communicate. Otherwise, it can prevent the students or the others from approaching. Genuine interest in others. A school counselor has to exhibit open communication and genuine listening and then concern in order to develop a human-to-human connection. Even when there are other works that need to be attended to, they should be kept aside while listening. Empathetic connection. A school counselor has to notice the nuances in the voice, tone, and body language. They should also understand others' perspectives and reflect with understanding and acceptance to enable the student to share repressed thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Build rapport. A school counselor should make efforts to make the student feel comfortable in his or her presence. During initial stages, a student will try to gauge the nature of the school counselor. So a good combination of verbal and non-verbal communication is very important at this stage. Be non-judgmental. A school counselor should be able to accept the student with unconditional positive regards and avoid being biased or judgmental. It is important to be cautious and keep away own views and the ideas. Maintain complete confidentiality. It is imperative that a school counselor make the student understand that information shared will be kept confidential. Patience. A school counselor should be aware that there are individual differences in the way the students accept certain things and then move towards positive changes. Some may need to discuss a point many times repeatedly before they are ready to make a move in the another particular direction. It is important to install hope in a pessimistic student. Look available. A school counselor should make sure to project his or her availability at all times. Visibility can be improved by walking around and chatting a little with the students within the school campus, making chair arrangements so that there are minimum physical barrier in the counseling room. Counselor should inform everyone as to how to contact him or her, and if there are any problems, make sure that he or she is available. If any case of immediate availability is not possible, the school counselor should reassure that they will be attended at the first opportunity. Allow students to express themselves. A school counselor should be able to allow the student talk freely about challenges that they face by just listening and not interrupting. This makes the students feel heard and then attended. Collaborative. A school counselor should make efforts to collaborate with the families, school staff, and then external agencies to support the student. Personal disclosure. A school counselor should share relevant personal information to show empathy, compassion, and authenticity. Solid ethical code. In spite of being open and friendly, a school counselor should be organized, have high professional standards, and maintain ethical standards. At the same time, he or she has to make sure that the boundaries and limitations in a therapeutic relationship are being maintained. In short, approachability is being accessible, breaking down perceived barriers with conscious awareness, exhibiting appropriate body language, and applying the right verbal communication and listening skills. To conclude, there are many important characteristics: empathy, honesty, ethics, sensitivity, accountability that a school counselor should have. But until and unless school counselor has belief in self in making a difference, the other qualities can become diminished. The belief in self or confidence in self is a foundational belief that a school counselor should possess. Such a confidence is possible only when school counselor has self-awareness and being grounded. It is not possible to be an effective counselor without a healthy physical, mental, and emotional state. Many times, school counselors are so busy taking care of others that they forget to take care of themselves. Therefore, the most important characteristic is that the ability to be grounded and balanced. With proper grounding, school counselor will be able to balance between giving and receiving. In addition to being grounded, a school counselor should be more accessible and approachable. The students have multifaceted potentials, and it is the job of a school counselor to observe and understand them in order to effectively help them. Not only observing and understanding, school counselor should make himself or herself accessible and approachable. Such a trait makes the students and also the others to feel more comfortable and willing to open up to the counselor. This trait enables to build a trustworthy and understanding relationship, without which it is not possible to deliver school counselors service effectively. Students do not care how much you know until and unless you make an effort to show how much you care. I hope this module has given understanding about best practices of school counselor with reference to being grounded, accessible and approachable. Thank you.